Y'all, Jesus is teaching the disciples again. While y'all see miracles, I see the teaching. All right, so what happens in chapter 8, and y'all already know the story of the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes. This is occurring again. There are people here, they gotta go. What are we gonna do with these people? There's large crowds forming. Well, Jesus stops them and says, I have compassion for these people, for they have been with me for at least 3 days. I have nothing to give them to eat, and if I send them home hungry, they're going to collapse on their way home. Now, the disciples are very focused on the factual things, on the earthly things, and not the heavenly things, even after so many lessons that they've had with Jesus firsthand. He says to them, how many loaves do you have? Because he knows it's all about the numbers, and that's where their concern is. They say 7. So he takes the 7 breads, he lifts them up, he gives thanks. Even before the blessing, he always gives thanks to God. All right, he lifts it up, and of course, it feeds all 4,000 men. That means we don't know how many women and children were also part of that. When they take up the leftovers, they have 7 leftover baskets of broken bread, okay? So this is, in fact, another miracle showing that God is the provider, that there's no need to be worried. They are ready for get bread again for another trip. I think they were going somewhere on a boat or something. And he overhears them. Aware of their discussion, Jesus asks, why are you still talking about having no bread? Calling them out, putting them in their place. See, understand that the next few questions are going to sound like Jesus is the type of teacher that's talking to you like you're a child, but he's not. He is urgent. In fact, in the end of chapter 8, he's about to tell them what's going to happen with him and his time on earth. And so with that on his mind, he doesn't have time to waste. And this is what he says. Do you have eyes but fail to see? Do you have ears and fail to hear? Man, I don't know how I would feel if Jesus said that to me. And he's kind of makes them answer a question to make them realize what God has done for them. He says, when I broke the 5 loaves for the 5,000, how many baskets of pieces did you pick up? Meaning, what was left over? 12, they replied. And when I broke the 7 loaves for the 4,000, how many baskets of pieces did you pick up? 7, they replied. He said to them, do you still not understand? Like, for instance, you could think of the bill, how many hours you worked, what your check is going to look like, that type of thing. You're thinking about the facts of what's going on in life, a problem. Like, so far on my spiritual walk, God has brought me through a lot. And when we're in our situation and we're thinking so earthly like, and we're not thinking on a heavenly mindset, we just lose our faith and we're thinking about all the things we see in front of us. But you got to remember, the way that God sees it is totally different. And he is ready to bless you, to take care of you, to be your provider. But you need to have that little bit of faith. And the thing that Jesus always does is always gives thanks before the miracle happens. And I love that, because that's what we need to do. We need to have a posture of like thanksgiving, gratefulness. I'm all human. I'm just like the disciples. I need to be reminded of things over and over. And so everything I got from chapter 8 was that reminder. Not so much the miracle, but the fact that the miracles will keep on coming. It's your faith that sometimes comes and goes.